Hey, this is Kehinde Fawumi. You're listening to the Unleash Your Genius podcast. More. What exactly can you already start with right away, right? One way would be to go more investment side and all that. Another way, so I'm talking about stock market investment, and to be safe there, you want to go more low risk, not high risk. So we're talking about Tesla going high and all that. But the higher it goes, the riskier it becomes because it could just go much down because it's more like a bubble. It's just building a bubble. You don't know when that's going to burst, right? So it's higher risk. What you can do is invest in funds such as the S&P 500, some ETFs. All these kind of ETFs are really amazing because they continue to grow, and that is what you that can reduce the risk of loss, right? It also means then that it's just steady, right? It's not like super huge fluctuations. So that's important to keep in mind. But that's only one option. The other option is to say that if you love real estate, right, you can say that, okay, you want to buy a small complex or house or things like that. All you need to bother about is 10% or in some cases 5% of that money. And if you can raise that somehow, because you can also raise that from credit cards, from small loans and all that. And if you can put that together, then you can get a mortgage to get either house. But you make your calculation clearly, because if you can give that out for rent or use it for some kind of business or anything else that would give you positive cash flow or that make you some profit, just make sure the profits you make out of that business is higher than everything you pay back for the loans and the mortgages that you have. And once you have a positive cash flow, that's all you need, right? And that's then passive income, because you don't have to be the one maintaining the apartment or the house or the real estate. You could employ someone to, you can employ an agent. Of course, it may reduce your profit in the end, but at least it's a passive income and you have all the time to then scale and do something else. And that's what makes sense. There's always a trade-off. You trade off a bit of your profit for your freedom, right? And what we're talking about here is how can you be truly free? So think freedom. If you can start actively to say that, okay, I give my time to build it, but then navigate towards getting your own freedom from it, to say that, how can I still make profit here if I have to employ someone, even if I employ someone, or if I have to pay someone that does the part I'm playing right now, the role I'm playing right now, because you're not the only one that can play that role, right? Employ someone else to do that, and then make sure you still have profit and you have your freedom. That then is passive income, because you have some money coming in, even though you don't have any involvement in what's going on. And anyway, and you can do that to any business as well. Maybe you start a new business and you say that, okay, right now I'm making every month 5,000 on this every month, for example, hypothetically. And then you say that, okay, I can pay someone $2,500 every month to do the parts that I'm playing right now, and I will still make 2,500 passively. That turns then from 5,000 active income to 2,500 passive income. And that is beautiful, because now you have all the time to do something else, to think about, okay, how can I further grow this 2,500? So think that in that case, that 2,500 is actually worth more, or let me say it this way, that 2,500 passive income is worth more than 5,000 active income, because now you have your freedom. So that's how you want to think. Again, I think the fundamental thing is that you have to be smart, switch from being a consumer to being a producer. So, for example, with every little thing you do, think about being productive, being the producer, own it instead of use it, if you know what I mean. So be the one that owns the thing, not the one that is paying for the thing. Have a producer mentality and not the consumer mentality with everything that you do, basically. So that's how you want to approach all of your transactions. And to make it work even nicer, give more in use value than you take back in monetary value. For example, I've given you more in these sessions, much more in use value than I'm getting back from you in monetary value. Does that make sense? The use value for what information you've received from me is far beyond, and many of you told me this, I'm not just assuming it myself, is beyond how much you paid for it, if you even paid anything for it, right? But you paid something, your time, you paid, your concentration, you paid something. So what we've given to you is higher than what you've given, and that is me blessing you with that gift. So that's important for you to keep in mind, that you always want to give in use value more than you receive in monetary value. Now, how would that pay you? How is this paying me? Let's be practical about it. How is this paying me? Number one, many of you would remember this experience for long, and that means so much to me. I matter to you now, unless I don't, but I hope I do. I matter to many of you now, and that is what I cannot purchase with money. So I look at this not only from monetary value. Think again, why do you want to be rich? Why is it exactly? I feel so much better. I feel so much level of significance. I feel successful and significant by being able to do this. And every information I'm giving to you, I'm also doing it. I'm actively doing it. So I'm investing in the stock market. I'm investing in this. I'm having my own businesses. I'm driving. I have my own teams. I'm working with people. I'm invested in landed properties, in buildings, in complexes. And I have this kind of thing. So I'm doing it actively, which means that I'm really not looking for that extra $50. I mean, of course, it doesn't hurt, but that's not the core reason for this, right? The core reason for it is those things that cannot then purchase with money. You always give more in just value than you get back in financial value. That's how to be abundant. What always works, anytime, any day, anywhere you are in the world, is that you become more valuable. When you become more valuable, you will be able to earn more, and you will earn more. So, for example, this has helped you gain more knowledge about financial intelligence, what you need to think about. That is becoming more valuable, right? And keeping in that mood, always feeding your mind with this kind of information and learning a new skill, a specific new trade, a specific new thing helps you to become way more valuable. And then you can, go for the opportunities. Those opportunities are there. They're online somewhere. There is a work there. There is, for example, the chance to freelance for something or to apply for a job here and all those kind of things. And that comes when you have the value to deliver, to offer there. I bet you if you see it on the internet, freelancer.com, as we talked about it last time, or what are these other sites? Upwork, Fiverr, and all those kind of things. And you look, or several other ones that exist online, and you look for people trying to give out jobs and apply to 20 of that, one will come back positively, but you have to be able to deliver, and you have to. So these are things that happen. One thing so that's one first thing I would say: become more valuable. Would you become more valuable? We talked about the fact that two people can work for the same company and one earns 10 times the other. In fact, or one earns 1 million times the other. Elon Musk alone earned, what was the value again? Billions, or let me say, I think it was about a couple of hundreds of millions per hour in 2019. Per hour, hundreds of millions. While some people earn, I don't know, $12 the same hour. Two different people, a huge, vast difference. What's the difference? Because this guy was way more valuable than the other person, or is way more valuable than the other person. So increasing your own value, or your own value, will be the first point. Now, how do you expose yourself to where the jobs are? That's the next point. And you can mainly maximize the value of the internet. Do you know you can have an agent represent you for anything you do? Instead of being the person that actually looks for the job, have someone look for the job for you for a percentage of the money. And that is everywhere, all over. Online are these agents that will represent whatever you do, sell you to businesses. They have connections to those businesses. They will sell you to those businesses and take a percentage of the profit. But that's fine for you, because you probably don't have all the accesses and understanding of where those businesses are. So it's good that they bring the businesses to you. Look for these people online. become more valuable. You can raise your prices, and these people can continue to represent you for short-term, medium-term, long-term engagements. These things are possible, and you can start from there. So my point is, start earning more first. When you start earning more, you can take care of your bills, and once you're done doing that, you have a little extra to, or let me rephrase it, earn more so that you have the chance to save more. But it doesn't mean that you should not save or invest even when you're earning a little, because it's a habit. It's a habit. You can always cut your expenses according to your earnings, and you learn that discipline, because if you don't now, it doesn't matter how much you earn, you will spend everything, right? So that's the point, to say that, but you can always become more valuable. And one trick to doing it is that, think sales. How can you sell more? If you can sell more, you can earn more, and selling more means that you become more valuable, so you can raise your cost of prices. And the second thing is that you don't be the salesperson. Look for people that would represent you, that can brand you well, that can talk to these businesses. And that's where you can start from. You be more valuable, and then use agents. Sell more, and then, but one thing you should never stop doing is that right from today onwards, always keep your atmosphere clean, which means to surround yourself with an atmosphere of motivation. If you ever have someone speaking negativity, or that's just so negative, well, you can decide to say that you stay around the person and then you try to change the person. But I can tell you that it may not work out that way. It may work out the other way. So always feed your mind with the right thing. There's something powerful about feeding your mind with the right information. It stimulates you to action, and it helps you, to do the right things every time.